Hey everybody, what is up? It is New Cube. It's been such a long time since I've been here on YouTube. I've been very busy with my life. I've had a lot of change happen within the last 8 months. I can't believe it's been that long since I've gotten married. But yes, I'm in a new location here. Haven't really streamed anything or made any sort of content. Life's been really busy. But I have something very special for you guys today. It's been about 2 years since I recorded my last video where I unboxed my Nintendo Switch OLED Tears of the Kingdom edition. So I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. My Nintendo Switch OLED has been sitting in the case for a very long time. As you guys can see right here, this case is deteriorated quite well because of the humidity here in Florida where I live. But yeah, it's been in here. It's been safe, dust free. When I moved, I actually put my dock back into my box because my wife has a Nintendo Switch OLED and we share a dock on her TV. But the reason why I haven't been really playing my Nintendo Switch is because I'm gonna be real honest. Like many of the games that Nintendo has made for the Nintendo Switch, they're not running to their full potential. Ever since about 2020 or so, when we heard that there was gonna be a Switch Pro, I was really excited about it, and I was hoping that they would release a more powerful Nintendo Switch. But I think because of many different various reasons with the chip shortages and all that, they decided to go with an OLED screen, and uh, they didn't upgrade the internals much. And it caused a lot of suffering with Nintendo's games. Like, I know these games were rushed out, but Pokemon Scarlet and Violet ran horribly on the original Nintendo Switch. And other games like the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom had some frame rate issues. Tears of the Kingdom had some frame rate problems, and Breath of the Wild as well. And it just sucked. And I got me a Steam Deck, which I've been absolutely loving. But I've also been playing on other consoles as well, such as my PS5. I actually haven't been really gaming in quite a while. Just been really busy, but I like to take out my Steam Deck because it's convenient and easy, and I can get some Switch games running better on the Steam Deck than on the Nintendo Switch. So, I know I've been rambling long enough, but this was a very hard purchase for me. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not very happy with how Nintendo's handling this new console generation, but here it is. I got the Nintendo Switch 2. So, it's been actually 8 years now, over 8 years now, since I got my original Nintendo Switch. I went through a few Nintendo Switches. I had my first one, and I think I had to send it to Nintendo once to get the backplate replaced because the oils from my hands destroyed the finish on the console. I didn't have any Joy-Con drift issues, thankfully, but that's probably because I didn't use my Joy-Cons much. I love my Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. I have the Xenoblade 2 Pyro one, which I'm probably going to be using on this. I might get the new Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller. I heard it has a better D-pad than all the other renditions. But yeah, this was a really hard purchase for me. I love Nintendo as a company. I love their games. But they're going all greedy again. They're charging $80 for their games now, and I know, of course, the tariffs have affected the accessories and stuff. This was $500 for this thing right here, where the original Nintendo Switch was $300. Now, granted, I did buy Breath of the Wild with it, so it was like $360 plus tax. There's another problem right there. Nintendo games never drop down in price. It just sucks. So, the reason why I got this is not because I'm just going to buy every new Nintendo game that comes out, but unfortunately, I'm probably just going to be using this just for Nintendo games. I'm not happy with the whole game key cart thing. As you guys know, that's a big problem, and I'm a huge fan of physical media. I have a massive game collection, which unfortunately right now is all boxed up due to my current living situation in space. But I want my entire game on the cart, and it just sucks that with like pretty much 90% of third party games, they're just going to be game key carts. So I'm probably going to buy like very few games physically for this console. So this actually came with Mario Kart Worlds, which I'm actually really excited to try out. I know I'm about to unbox it here, but just want to give a few personal thoughts about Nintendo and the current situation. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to be playing mostly on my Steam Deck and my PS5 still, and PC. But I'm still going to take this out and play it to play Nintendo's games. If there's any third-party games I really, really want, I will get it on this system, probably digitally. Now, if they make a physical copy and the entire game's on the cart, I'll buy it. But I'm going to have to be really selective with how I purchase my games from now on. But I think that's enough said about it. I probably forgot a few things here, but I'm very excited to open this. I heard the build quality is much better, so let's check it out. So, open up this flap here. Ooh, here we go. So I'm going to be really careful with this. I don't mess this up. So before I actually get into this, funny story. Well, not really funny. I got mine from Walmart's app. I actually got it like right at midnight when the console launched. I tried to get a pre-order, but I was this close to checking out completely, and it sold out on me. And ever since then, I haven't been able to get it. But a little bit after midnight on, believe the 5th, when the console came out, I was able to get a pre-order no problem on the app. But I heard people at GameStop, at certain GameStops, they were putting a receipt staple right on top of the box, and that just sucks. Like, I don't want that happening with my box. I like my stuff being nice and perfect. And worst of all, not only did it go through the box, it damaged the console. So people are having to take back their Nintendo Switch 2s to their local GameStop that they bought it from and having to get a replacement. And what sucks is these GameStops probably don't have extra stock, so it's probably like another like day or two wait until they get more stock in, or God knows how long. But just wanted to mention that. I thought that was horrible, and I feel really bad for you people, and I hope everything works out and you guys get your Nintendo Switch 2s with no problems. But let me take the console out here. I can already say this tablet is much bigger than the original Nintendo Switch. I will get another camera view here in just a few minutes comparing the two models. But, take it out here. Ooh. That's a different feel. Like, it's similar to the feel of the regular Nintendo Switch, but it's definitely different. Oh yeah, so I actually have a GameStop case right here. Unfortunately, I had to settle on this because all the retailers are sold out of cases for the console, and I think like most of the Nintendo branded ones are going to be coming out next Friday. I'm recording this currently on the 6th, which is a day after launch. But yeah, that really sucks. I went with the GameStop case because it's more bulky, and that's what I need to protect the console. I bought my screen protector on Amazon. I'll put a link in the comment in the description under the video. That will link you to the screen protector that I bought. I got a 2-pack for $10, which is not bad. So I'm going to be installing that tomorrow when it comes in. Let me check out the kickstand here. So Got our little grills under here. So there's the kickstand. It feels a little flimsy, like people are definitely saying. I've been listening to a lot of like YouTube videos of people talking about the console, unboxing it and stuff, and people were definitely saying it feels like it's definitely sturdy, but it has a little bit of flimsy to it. It's not bad though. I think it's day and night better than the OG Switch. The OG Switch, the kickstand, don't get me started on that thing. It was awful. I never used it. I don't ever really play tabletop mode, so I'm not gonna really use it. I think the SD card slot's down here. Yes, it is. It is down here. All right. Then we got the sides here. Looks really nice for the Joy-Cons to go into. All right, and we've got our little cartridge slot up here. Just trim my fingernails so I can't get into it. Oh, that's actually nice. It's like a little tab on the back to... Okay. That's how that works. So there's like a little tab on the back that you lift up instead of it being on the front side here. That is nice. And I know there's two USB-C ports. There's one on the top and there's one on the bottom, which is awesome. I know it's for the camera function, but it's still great. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to put on the plastic here just to be safe. Alright, so I got the left side Joy-Con, and it's definitely more bulky than the original Joy-Con. So let me get my OG Switch here, just to show you guys. So, for comparison size, so this is my OLED Tears of the Kingdom Switch Joy-Con, and here's the Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Con. So there's definitely much more size with the Switch 2 Joy-Con. So I can definitely say it's a lot better. I like the bigger buttons on the back here. Definitely a big thing. Gonna put that aside here. Then next, here's the right side Joy-Con. So one thing I'm definitely gonna say, I like the material on these. It's really nice. Definitely, like, it feels more premium than the original Joy-Cons. I will say that. And one thing I really like about these is the color accents. I think that is a really nice thing. Definitely much nicer than the OG Joy-Cons. I'm excited to see what kind of special editions comes out for this console down the road. If they're going to make an OLED console, that would be really awesome. But there's the buttons on the back, so you press that to take it off of the console. Actually, let's try it out. So here's the console. I'm going to take the Joy-Con. Ooh, that's satisfying. Hold on, I'm going to put the other one up in this. You guys, listen to that. Wow. Okay. So, I'm going to do the test here. So, pretty sturdy magnets. Not bad, not bad. And in the hands, wow. Okay, so the buttons feel definitely different. Huh. I heard the D-pad is, oh no, it's the exact same. Got the new C button on here. Yeah. I really like the overall design of this. I think it's definitely much nicer than the OG Switch. Let me take off the Joy-Cons and see how it feels. I know, like, with the OG Switch, with the rails, like, the constantly clicking, it would eventually deteriorate, like, a piece in here. And eventually, like, it would be, they, like, can easily be popped out without even pressing the button. And that never happened to me, thankfully, because I didn't really take out my Joy-Cons much. But, yeah, I know that was a big problem, and people fixed it by installing a like metal piece that was like custom made into the Joy Cons. I know Joy-Con drift, of course, major problem. Nintendo, I heard with the Nintendo Switch 2, I watched Tronics fix. He did a nice teardown of the whole entire console. I don't think he's done the dock yet, but he's done the console and the Joy Cons, and he said that the sticks are definitely better, but it's still possible for them to eventually get drift down the road. So that really sucks, and the price of these is like close to $100. So honestly, I would recommend getting a Pro controller and kind of like limiting how much you use the Joy Cons. I'm probably not going to use them much at all, and I might get some kind of like thin case for the console once those are made. But yeah, I like this. This is good. So I'm gonna set this aside here, and let's see what we got in here. Manuals and stuff. I'm sure this is where I have my Mario Kart code, which I heard it's a scratch off code. Okay, it's like a little, yeah. Oh, okay. So we do got some stuff in here. We got the HDMI. Is this HDMI? Yes, it is. HDMI cables. They're ultra high speed, which there's a sticker on the back, and we got the new. I forget what these are called, but they go on the Joy Cons. Let me test this out. Actually, I want to see how these look. These look so much different. And is the Mario Kart code in here? It's somewhere in here. Huh. Probably find it when I get down more into the box, but I want to test this out real quick. Let me get the right Joy-Con. So you press this button, right? Yeah, it just pops right off. Okay. Man, this is so thin. Look at this. Wow. Okay. So I guess it goes on kind of... Huh. Like so? I gotta figure this out. This is so weird. Huh. What the heck? Okay, okay. I don't want to mess with this too much. Okay, okay. So they kind of like set on. I don't really think they're magnetic. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. Okay. Or it just kind of like clicks on. But that's kind of like how you make it into the small individual Joy-Con controllers, which I'm sure not many people do this. Let me know if you guys do this in the comments under the video, but that's interesting. I mean, I like the design of it. I don't know about the longevity of this, but it's just like a plastic piece, but I mean, that's cool. Okay. Put that back in the Switch. Man, that's so satisfying. Okay. Put that up later. Let's get further down into the box here. So we have our Joy-Con grip, which... Wow, that's really glossy. Oh my gosh. So here's the Joy-Con grip. So has the Nintendo Switch 2 logo on this. And I guess I could test it out here. What the heck? It's a YouTube video. Put these on. So has the magnetic pieces on there. So, or like the... It's kind of like similar to the console itself, but okay, that just pops in. Let me get the other one here, and there you go. So there's the controller. I can definitely say I don't really care for this. I don't know. This feels way too weird. I did it when the Nintendo Switch originally came out. I played Breath of the Wild using this thing, but it just doesn't feel right. Like, I heard people say that, and now that I have it in my hands, it just... I don't know. I don't like it. I'm probably not going to ever even use this thing. But I'll set it aside for right now. So, next thing, we have our charging cable. Whoa, what the? Okay. So, the charging brick is different now. So, originally, I'll take this out first, actually. So, this is the new brick. So, as you guys can see, back here is where the USB-C goes in. And there's a separate cord now that goes into that. And that powers the console. So, I mean, it's typical for your devices, your phones and stuff to be like that. But the OG Nintendo Switch, it was like the brick and then the entire cord like was attached to it. Like, so I guess that makes it easier to replace and stuff. I'm sure there's a certain amount of like voltage that this takes. So right now, if you get a Nintendo Switch 2, I would highly recommend not using any third-party docks, any third-party AC adapters, or anything like that, because it could possibly brick your console. I'm sure you guys heard Nintendo updated their terms of service. And they made it to where if they find out you do any modifications to your console, they can permanently brick your console and make it completely unusable, which is horrible, and I think there should be some legal repercussions for that. That is not okay. I am not okay with that whatsoever. Of course, publicly, don't condone piracy, but I understand, I do my own stuff, but I'm not going to be messing with this whatsoever, with piracy, with hacking, nothing, modding, nothing. So I'm not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole with this console. It sucks, but it is what it is, I guess. I know there was a day one patch that happened, and before the day one patch, people that got their consoles early were not able to use them, and that really sucks. And Nintendo's just trying to take full control over their users, and I'm not okay with that. But it is what it is. I want to keep playing my Nintendo games, I guess. So, gotta find my Mario Kart code. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's in the user manuals or something. So, here. Might be somewhere. I don't know. I'll have to look for it. Might be in the box. So, here is the dock. And I can definitely say from first glance, this feels much better built than the OG dock from the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch OLED. Yeah, I really like it. One thing I'll highly recommend, get a screen protector for your console. Major problem with the OG Switch, people were docking their consoles and it was scratching their screens. So want to avoid that as much as possible. My screen protector's coming in tomorrow, so I'm probably going to be really careful when I dock this. Not just set it in, just put it in really carefully. But, it looks really similar to the dock, but it has like a more like bevel kind of like shape. I like that. Much more aesthetically pleasing. The sides, of course, we have our two USB, I think they're called A. Yeah. And the back just kind of pops off here. So I know in the dock, according to the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that showed off the entire console and everything, there's a fan that's built into the dock. And also, I forgot to mention too, the Nintendo Switch 2 has a built-in microphone on the top here, which is really nice for the chat thing. Oh yeah, I was going to mention that. So the chat button here, it's behind a paywall. It really sucks. It's the C button right here on the right side Joy-Con. So that sucks, but it is what it is. A really awesome thing that I found out just today, actually, is that you can plug in any webcam that you want to your Nintendo Switch 2. It will work. so you don't have to buy Nintendo's proprietary camera that they sell, which I heard. I don't think it's in really high quality. I think it's like a 480p camera. Don't quote me on that, but I think it is from my understanding. But the back here, the one thing I don't like about this is there's a bit of gloss where the ports are. So that's going to get scratched over time for many people. You'll plug your HDMI. There's a USB-C. It's kind of hard to see here. But yeah, there we go. Got our USB-C, HDMI, and then there's Ethernet LAN port here. You want to go more with the online, but faster speeds. But there you have it. That's your Nintendo Switch 2 dock. Alrighty, so here's a side-by-side comparison of the Nintendo Switch OLED with the Nintendo Switch 2. So as you can see, the Nintendo Switch 2 is definitely much bigger than the Nintendo Switch OLED. And yeah, I'm definitely going to like this bigger screen. It looks much nicer. So I'm going to press the power button here. See what happens. There's the Nintendo logo. There it is. Ooh, music's so good. I heard the startup music for this in other people's videos. But there you have it. That's the unboxing of my Nintendo Switch 2. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your experiences in the comments under the video. I will see you guys next time. This is New Cube. Keep gaming, guys. Alrighty, guys. So I got some good news here. So originally I was pretty furious because, as you guys saw in my unboxing, I did not receive a voucher for Mario Kart World for my Nintendo Switch 2. Even though I paid for it, and it's on the box here, should be included. But I got good news. I looked online, and people had the same issue, but they went on the eShop, and they were able to automatically download it. So I did the same after I got everything transferred over from my old Switch. And I am able to install the game. So I'm going to go to continue download. And download, and there it is. So I'm glad to have it. So if you guys don't get a voucher code with your console, be slow to anger, don't get pissed. Go to your eShop and it should be able to download. If it doesn't, or if nothing pops up, contact Nintendo and they will probably take care of you with that. Hopefully nobody's having issues with that, but there you go.